Welcome everyone. This week's parashah is when you take. So we start off with giving of the Lord's offering to him Adonai from everyone that is 20 years or older. Now, as all are equal in the kingdom of Shamayim, well, the rich was not to give more, or the poor less than a half shekel. When giving Adonai's offering to atone for their lives, as they became Yahweh's, as he rescued them from the Egyptians and the angel of Adonai, when he rescued them out of Egypt, away from Pharaoh. Now these offerings were to be used for the service of the tent of meeting. Now, as this would be a Kodesh, or a set-apart place, well, Yahweh commanded to make a basin of bronze with a base of bronze for the use and purpose of washing, for Aaron and his sons to wash their hands. In fact, their feet as well. For wherever they enter the tent of meeting, also when they approach the altar to minister by burning an offering for Adonai. Now this law was also to follow for them throughout all of their generations, and even for us here today. So I want to ask you, what is this stating? Well, that we are to obey Yahweh and worship him with all Kodesh physical actions and Kodesh spiritual and mental actions, as we are to be as Yeshua and act as Yeshua did, and keep our mind on things that Yeshua did. And what was that? Yes, fulfilling the will of Yahweh our Abba. Now Adonai also told them to take the best spices, in other words, the best of all that Yahweh has provided us with, such as Abel, but not the least and worst of what we have, such as his brother Cain. So they were told to take the best of their spices, myrrh, cinnamon, cane, cassia, and olive oil, and to make it into a holy anointing oil, and thus to anoint the tent of meeting and the ark of the testimony and all that is in it. Now, they also used this holy oil to anoint Aaron and his sons in service to serve Adonai and the office of Cohen, or priest, as Avat. Now this certain formula of spices was never, and I repeat, never, ever, ever to be used for any other purpose except for the use of serving Yahweh. Now, we can take this as saying that those who are Yahweh's are to always be used for, and only for main purposes of magnifying Yahweh and fulfilling his will, the will of his in his heavenly kingdom. And those that are non-believers are not to accept. They heard the true gospel, but they choose not to accept it. Well, they have this world for all of their evil uses. But those that are Yahweh's shall only be used to be in it to serve his will. Not our own will, not for selfish or personal gain, but for the will of Yahweh, to better the kingdom and everyone in it. Now, as you know, Yahweh always provides. And we could see a big example of this, or a great example to say of it, with Bat Zalel, the son of Yuri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Yehuda, and his assistant Aholiab, the son of Akisimach, of the tribe of Dan. You see, Yahweh had, we could say, blessed them with the skills and mastery for cutting precious stones to be set, and also for wood carving and every other craft, including gold, silver, and bronze. In other words, they would be sent and skilled by Yahweh to build, such as we're supposed to build up the kingdom. Well, they were building up the tent of meeting, the ark for the testimony, and also the covering for the ark above it, and all the furnishings of the tent. You see, Yahweh is truly the greatest architect, and his scope and blueprint is made to perfection. And guess what? We all play a part in it. So I say to you today, open up and let Yahweh provide. And to always remember that you are to keep Adonai's Shabbat, as Yeshua is the king and Adonai Lord of the Shabbat. So when you don't keep it and observe it, you are in essence stating that Yeshua is not, I repeat, is not your Lord or your King, Melech. you, in essence, denounce and deny him. Now remember that the Shabbat is set apart for us. From Friday sundown until Saturday sundown is the Shabbat. And it is a sign between Yahweh and us for all, I repeat, for all of our generations, for complete rest set apart for Adonai. Now, with the account of the golden calf, understand that it says after they offered burnt offerings to the idol golden calf. Now, they soon afterwards begin to indulge in revelry. Now, why is that? Well, I see it as the fact that Yahweh must be in a Kodesh place in our lives. Well, since the broken covenant that they did, they broke the covenant with him at this point, to not have full faith in Yahweh, that he was with them, even though they could not see him, that they chose to create an idol in his place. But by doing so, they pushed Yahweh away from them, and without Yeshua, our Yahweh with us in our presence, well, guess what? Ha-Satan, yes, then enters the scenes, because wherever Yeshua and Yahweh are, well, that is where you would never find Ha-Satan. But he may be creeping around the corner. But if they are not there, then that is the place where you can find Ha-Satan. And thus, for the children of Israel, it was inevitable that they would turn to evil things, since they left and chose to leave the presence of Yahweh. But now, as they turned from Yahweh, well, this angered him, and he was going to put an end to them all. But Moshe interceded, just as Yeshua did. And who was Moshe? Well, he was a precursor for Yeshua. Remember, and think about this. How long was it that Yeshua was tempted and tested in the wilderness for? And how long was Moshe away from his people? Exactly. So now Moshe soon has Yahweh to love and forgive his stiff-necked children, just as Yeshua soon would. But soon after that, Moshe would feel the anger towards all of Yisrael, Kal Yisrael, as he approached them coming down from the mountain with the 2 tablets, with Yahweh's writing and commandments on them. And upon seeing them dancing with their idol, the golden calf, well, Moshe's anger blazed, and he threw the 2 tablets down, and they shattered at the base of the mountain. Now, shortly, Moshe had the golden calf melted down and ground into powder, which he scattered on the water, and then he made Kal Yisrael drink of it. Now, a little later, Moshe stood at the entrance to the camp and shouted, "Whoever is for Adonai, come to me." And all the descendants of Levi then came around him. Moshe told them that Adonai states for them to put a sword on their side and to take the robe of the angel of Adonai and to kill all of their brethren who did not, once again I repeat to you, who did not choose the side of being for Adonai. Now, they did as Yahweh requested, and they chose their God at that point. And it wasn't Yahweh. And since they have a false God they chose, well, he wasn't there to protect them. But the Levites did have the true protection. And now they did as Yahweh requested. And on that day, understand that 3,000 of the people died. But now remember, they did not choose Yahweh. So they were already spiritually dead. So now they were also physically dead. Now Yahweh soon would forgive those who repented from the golden calf issue and chose him. Now there would soon also be a plague against those for worshiping the golden calf. But too, Yahweh would continue to have his children be led to the land that Yahweh promised Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yisrael. And now he would send an angel or messenger before them. And I ask you right now, who is the greatest messenger that he sent before Yisrael in the world? Yes, it is our Messiah, Yeshua, who is the living word and testimony and gospel of Yahweh. Now understand this, that just as the first sinful act caused Moshe to fracture the commandments of Yahweh, like the sin of Adam, well, Yahweh would soon give a second chance as he gave Moshe a second set of commandments for all of Israel. As Yeshua, who was the second Adam, redeemed us all, and Moshe's face shone from the light of Yahweh. Well, guess what? Scripture says that Yeshua is the true light of the world. Now, a little look back. Well, when Aaron made the golden calf, it was said that these are your gods. But remember, he only formed how many calves? One, yes, exactly. You see, this story continues with King Jeroboam. When the two kingdoms of Israel separated, you see, Jeroboam made 2 golden bulls, and he said to his people, "You have been going up to Jerusalem, to the southern kingdom, with King Rehoboam, long enough. Now these are the gods of Israel that brought you up out of Egypt." And he sent 1 bull in Bethel, is where he set that one, and he had the other one in Dan. And that's how it's said that Aaron was saying the same exact things in Exodus that later, years later, that Jeroboam would say to the northern tribe, "These are your gods, Israel. Tomorrow shall be a festival to Adonai." You see, the northern tribe did everything that Yahweh said not to do, including creating and worshiping idols and changing Yahweh's feast days. That is why Adonai told Moshe that he would destroy all of his people. And what happened next? Well, as we know, the northern tribe was scattered and lost soon after, but his southern tribe was still around. And now, in our Haftorah portion in Ezekiel, well, Yahweh informs Ezekiel that upon the house of Israel living in the promised land, well, understand that at this point when they were in it, they started to defile every meat of it. Now the blessing that Yahweh gave them, now they defiled it. They did every evil act that the false idols had them do, in which they worship. They were unclean as a woman was or is on her menstrual cycle. But Yahweh soon reprimanded his children and had to justly punish Kal Yisrael for its defiance toward their Abba and Creator, Yahweh. Now understand that many today continue to do the same thing. I'll give you an example. Here's a great example, matter of fact. Yahweh blesses a musician with talent, but instead of using it to praise Yahweh and worship him, they instead go worldly and praise themselves in all evil things of the world. Or an actor portrays false gods such as superheroes and deities like Thor or someone of the likes, rather than acting in faith-filled movies that lead people to see the true light of the world, and that is Yeshua. Now, as we come into our Hebraic Messianic gospel portion, well, as we follow Yeshua, well, then we too should do as he started and continue to go all throughout the world and spread his true Hebraic Messianic gospel. We must understand too that there is a gospel that has been spread throughout the world already, but that is a false gospel. The true gospel hasn't even reached the masses of the world yet, but it will shortly, as the time is nigh. Now, as you spread his true gospel, do not monetize from it, because Yahweh will always provide. As you received his true gospel freely, you are to give and spread it likewise freely. As your forgiveness costs you nothing, but it costs Yahweh his only, one and only begotten Ben, Yeshua HaMashiach, our Messiah. Now, as you spread his true gospel, you must know that you will be persecuted because of it. But also remember to never fear man, but be wise as serpents, but gentle as doves. Let Yahweh speak through you. Place him first, and you last. Do not let your self-pride or ego get in the way and be hard-hearted or stiff-necked, as the past showed us. If Yahweh tells you something for all to hear or in a vision, always reveal it to the masses the best you can with your all, just as in our Shemai. Because Yahweh reveals all to everyone, and you might be playing a big part in his master plan. And never deny your Abba, as he is yours, as you are his. For if you break that bond, he will not have you protected. It is your safety harness, or your spiritual bungee cord or line, and you are on the side of Mount Sinai, or in the world's aspect, Mount Everest. If your spiritual line or connection is cut, you will surely die. You will fall. As Yeshua is the salvation, and if you deny him, he will know you not in the presence of his and our Abba, who is in Shamayim. And now we will have the Aaronic blessing. May Adonai bless you and keep you. May Adonai cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May Adonai lift up his countenance upon you and give you shalom. This has been a Hebraic Messianic Torah portion from Following Yeshua Ministries. For more information or for guidance, please visit www.followyeshuanow.com.